So our lesson objective is to calculate the annual homeowner's insurance premium. And the word premium stands for the amount paid to an insurance company for insurance coverage. So it is not like the type of gas you pick when you go to the gas station. I'm going to get the premium in my tank. So anytime in this chapter you see the word premium, they're asking you for a dollar amount. And then, funny enough, fire protection class. That is not a class you take to protect your home better from fire. It is actually a number assigned by an insurance company to a building that reflects how fire resistant it is and how close it is to a water source. My parents, while they live out Lotus Road, they live within a quarter mile from the fire station on Lotus Road, so they get a lower insurance fire protection class. So the higher your number is, the more risky your house is. When we encounter fire protection class, it's going to be given to us, so we don't have to guess it. When Ernesto gets back. Okay. So if you live next to a water source, with all the fires that we've had around here, I have seen the helicopters and then the planes, they go with their buckets and they scoop up water from.
Oh, I've seen one come near my house, like
the lake. Yeah, they'll go. They'll take it from what's the ponds at Greenstone, the little lakes at Greenstone. All right, so you guys are going to be using this chart, and in case we get to a place where I have forgotten to give you a chart, but I've given you a problem, say like on our stations worksheets, or I give you a bell ringer and it doesn't have the chart, please use this one from your notes. We're going to be using this chart. This chart is actually two charts. The first one is for a brick or masonry veneer, and then the second one is for a wood frame. Where do you think stucco falls? Brick or masonry or wood frame? Where do you think stucco falls? Yeah, I think it's in masonry. So if you guys see that the lower your rating is, the cheaper your premium. So what we're going to do is we are going to look at the example problem. So if you guys have your book, you can look at this in your book. You're going to need a calculator because we're all going to share responsibility. Here we go. Okay. All right, so the replacement value of Marcia Sykes' home is $150,000. She's insuring it for 80% of its replacement value. The home is a wood frame construction and has been rated in the fire protection class of 4. Please circle the 4. You see how it's kind of on the end there and it looks like it doesn't belong, like maybe it's a number 4, but that 4 is really important because we're going to use it. What is the amount of A, coverage, and B, what's the annual premium? Okay, so the amount of coverage is $150,000 times the 80%. So if her whole entire house burns down, the bank is going to write her a check for $120,000. So on our chart, we're going to focus on $120,000. I'll get rid of the other one. Hey, it's. Okay, step number 2, this is the easiest part. So knowing that she is a wood frame, rating number 4, so we go over here to the wood frame. Her rating is between 1 and 6, because number 4 is in between 1 and 6. So her insurance premium, or the amount she has to pay, is $476. Okay. We're going to give that a whirl. For Jalise Chiara's brick home is $200,000. It's insured at 75%, and it's fire protection class 11. I circled the 11 to make sure we use that in our calculations. Okay, so the first step is to figure out if the whole thing burned down, how much would be covered. 200,000 times the 75% is $150,000. So we're looking up here in the 150 range. It is a brick house. So, and it's a fire protection class 11. Yeah, the more your premium is going to be. So the more dangerous it is. So $150,000 at rating factor 11 is $944 per year for insurance. All right, 10-8 or 10.8 other housing costs. I'm going to introduce you to my good friend called utilities. We're going to compute the total housing costs and compare it with suggested guidelines. One of the most expensive things that I pay for and for my utility is my water. To have 4 people living in the house, and I don't know why my teenage girls feel like they have to be clean all the time, but they feel like they should take a shower every day, and I'm like, that's costing me money. So utility cost is a public service, such as telephone, electricity, water, gas. Some of you guys, if you end up like living in so out here, we live in the mountains, so if we want to use gas as a energy tool, my parents used to have a propane dryer, and you can use propane for your stove, and you can use propane for your heater. You have to get a tank on your property and then have it filled periodically. If you live closer to Sacramento, Sacramento has natural gas, which is gas similar to propane, but they have it piped straight to your house. So it's piped just like electricity is piped. So some of the bigger cities have natural gas that's already piped in a part of their infrastructure. They've since my parents got solar, they got rid of their gas dryer. So, okay. Here's what I need you guys to take away in your real life. Your housing costs, all added together, should be less than 35%. If you are paying more than 35% for your housing costs, you are going to be struggling every month. And living life in struggle mode is awful. So just make sure that you're living within, so all of your housing, rent, utilities, insurance, repairs, anything that you guys have going on, it's no more than 35% of your gross income. If it's more than that, I promise you, I've lived life in struggle mode and it's awful. Hold on. So let's see what the example problems. Okay, Sue and Paul Kwan have a gross income of $3,820. Here is a list. Here's a list of all their expenses, including their mortgage. We are going to see if they are within the 35%. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add all these together. So we add $698.24, $26.50, $157.08, $65.90, $64.20, $66.26, $28.90, $59.95, $95.89. They're paying $60 for a cell phone and almost $100 for internet and cable. This might be some area that you're able to reduce the cost of if you need to fuss with your budget. The storm door broke, so they had to replace that. That's $78.36. They took out a loan. Maybe this is their, I don't know. They needed a loan for, maybe it's a home equity line of credit for $50. So when we add all these together, we get $1,391.28. We need to compare this. This is how much they spend. We need to compare it to what they should be spending. So if they make $3,820, we multiply that by 35%, and we see that they should be spending $1,337 or less. And we look and we say, no, they are over budget. They are spending almost $60 more than they're able to. So they have to look at their budget and reduce something here. Maybe instead of setting their thermostat at 72 degrees, they can set it at 68 or 65. Just that's when you start whittling stuff down. Like for Mitch is the one that does our budget, so he'll go, guess what? We don't have the big trash can. We're saving $15 a month by getting the smaller trash can. So I'm out there like shoving our trash can in the smaller can and like making it fit. And heaven forbid we spring clean, because then nothing fits in the trash can, or have a birthday party or anything else. So we really try to make that smaller trash can work for $15 a month. I have one right out here. I could just drop it in at work. Then my trash has to live in my car for the ride over. It's fine. Okay, so you guys, let's look at our concept check. So if we make more money, say our buddies, the Kwans, they got a little bit of a raise. So now they make $3,950. If they make 35% of their new amount is $1,382.50. They spend $1,391.28. So they are still over. So they got a little bit of a raise, but it's not enough to hit what they're spending. So let's see if they get just $50 a month more. So now they make $4,000 a month. Let's times that by the 35%. It puts them at $1,400. So maybe Mr. Kwan is now delivering pizzas to to get a little bit extra money, so now it's $1,400. Now, when we compare it to what they spend, no, over, yes, allowed, spend. I'll talk. Okay. 10.9, renting or owning a home. We are going to calculate the average monthly cost for renting and compare the cost of renting and owning a home. Ladies and gentlemen, I have terrible news for you. You can't wake up tomorrow morning and go, I want to rent my own apartment. How many of you guys are 18? Raise your hand. Even those of you guys who are 18, you cannot wake up tomorrow and be like, I'm so out of here. You can say it, but to move into an apartment or to rent from somebody, you need, usually you'll need, even if it's like I'm renting a room from Taylor's Nana. Thanks, Nana. She's just a little old lady, or her kids have moved out. Even to rent a room, they're going to ask you to give them the first month's rent, the last month's rent, and a security deposit. So if you're paying $700 a month, you're going to have $700 and $700, $1,400 ready to go, plus the security deposit, which is usually around the same amount. So before you move into a $700 a month room in Nana's garage or whatever, you're going to have $2,000 in your pocket for all the deposits. So make sure, if you guys really, this is really what you want to do, I want to support you, but you guys have to have some money saved up to do it. So a security deposit is made when signing a lease. It is a one-time payment that may be used to pay for cleaning the apartment at termination of a rental agreement, or to change the locks, or to repair damage to the rental unit. So if you have, who was it yesterday? Somebody said, we have a bird, and it has completely ruined all the blinds in our apartment. It has pecked holes in the sheetrock. So I'm not sure. These people have a really destructive bird. And I said, you guys should make sure to go ahead and do some drywall patch, get a patch kit and repair that. Hold on. Strong. Okay. You guys, I need to remind you. I need to remind you that the average monthly cost is all of our costs added together divided by the number of months. You got that down, Rudy? All right, let's see how this works. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, our buddy Mike, he's going to rent an apartment for $675 a month. His security deposit is the same as 1 month's rent. He estimates the annual expenses will be like these in the figure. What is his average monthly cost? So what is a security deposit something you pay every month? No, so that is why it doesn't exist right here. So his rent is $675 a month. There are 12 months in a year. So over the course of the year, he's going to spend $8,100 on his rent. The amount of money he loses in interest is going to be $28. His renter's insurance is $320. His electricity over the course of the year is $1,280. Heating is $1,500. Telephone internet cable is $1,255, and his cell phone is $848. We take each of those numbers and add them together. Boop, boop, boop. So for his annual rental expenses, it's going to cost him $13,331. To find the average, we're going to take that $13,331 and divide by 12. So we get $1,110.92 on average is what his renting costs are going to be. So we're going to do that twice here with our concept checks. So the first time, we have Joe and Allison, they make $820 in a rent payment every month. So for the year, it's $9,840. If you don't have $9,840, where's Peter? On your paper, you will not get credit for the notes. For telephone, they pay $40 a month. So for 12 months, that's $480. That's why you guys can't sit next to each other, because I'm shushing y'all. $44 for their cell phone. For 12 months, that's $528. $60 for their cable. Times the 12 months, that's $720. We add all those items together, everything in the right that's highlighted. So that's $13,850. We divide that by 12. So our monthly cost for renting is $1,154.17. So we're going to do that same process again. So we take our $480 a month, times it by 12. It's $5,760 for the year. Satellite TV, $53 a month. That's $636. Cell phone is still $44 a month. That ends up being $528. Trash is $8 a month. That's $96. Add all these together. $8,580. Divide that by 12. You get $715 a month.